Now, the Valley's top teacher, sponsored by Calhoun Community College.
For one teacher, Hampton Cove Elementary School is her home away from home. And each day she walks in, she's bubbling with excitement to teach her kids something new. Meet this week's Valley's top teacher, Victoria Kamara.
Oh, don't knock her down.
The kids in Victoria Kamara's class.
They keep me going every day, and I love teaching them something new, and they're excited to learn every day.
This year for the Hampton Cove Elementary School teacher would be what some would say a lucky one.
This is my 7th year teaching in general. I taught at Holy Spirit for 2 years, and I've been here for the last 5 years.
Kamara's desire for teaching goes back to her time in school. Who inspired her?
My 2nd grade teacher, actually. And funny, I teach 2nd grade, so, you know. Her name was Mrs. Lewis, and she just really put her heart and soul into teaching. That's what made me want to become a teacher.
That heart and soul for teaching trickled down to Kamara. Just ask her principal, Lakita Perkins.
Miss Kamara is a joy to work with. She has very high expectations. She's a very happy teacher. She loves to help. Anything I ask her to do, she'll do. If kids need extra help, she's willing to stay after school. She goes the extra mile for her kids and for Hampton Cove Elementary.
She'll go that extra mile, but along the way, there are some hurdles. She knows teaching doesn't come without challenges.
No, it doesn't. But it's just amazing to have like other teachers who support you and work with you. And like you can go and vent to them and they're on the same page. We're all in this together, which really helps too. So I just love Hampton Cove and my kids and my principal and everything.
Her love for this school is so strong, she plans on sticking around for a little while.
I never see myself leaving the classroom. Knock on wood, you never know. But I would love to be a teacher for the rest of my life.
One teacher is willing to cross county lines to educate her students. In fact, she says Moulton Middle School is where she finds comfort. Meet this week's Valley's top teacher, Mrs. Sarah Parker. Teaching is fairly new for Sarah Parker.
This is my 2nd year. This is my 2nd career.
Although it's her 2nd career, English was always her first. But back in college,
An English degree, teaching degree, required lots of papers. And so you can't tell a 20-year-old anything. So I switched to business because I guess I thought statistics would be easier than writing papers.
Parker believes the subject is needed in every walk of our life.
The truth of the matter is you got to learn it. Even if you go work in the industrial environment, you need to write a resume. You need to be able to spell properly. You need to be able to speak properly in an interview.
And she knows English isn't the most fun subject.
So even the best English person has to just admit that English is a boring subject, and it's hard, especially when you come in and you've missed years of grammar and things like that. And so I try to make it fun.
Principal Michael Hathorn says from that fun, she fosters a bond between students.
It doesn't surprise me. She really does a really good job of building relationships with our students.
So it was painful for Parker when she lost one of her students recently.
Mo was just special. He was just full of life. And you couldn't help but love him.
Her love just enough to keep her going.
And even the days it's a struggle, I'd rather be here than anywhere else other than my home with my kids. But, I'd rather be here. This is my comfort.
The love for one teacher at Endeavor Elementary School runs deep. In fact, the person that nominated her said verbatim, she has a heart of gold. Meet this week's Valley's top teacher, Tina McKenzie. Here's an introduction to Tina McKenzie's classroom.
Listing how things are what? Similar. That's right.
She's a 5th grade teacher with plenty of experience under her belt.
This is my 23rd year.
And for McKenzie, teaching is more than a career for her.
And I think this is my calling.
McKenzie teaches several subjects.
Language arts, reading, and social studies.
But before taking on these new lessons,
I've taught science for many years, and that's my first love, is science.
a polar opposite from what she's teaching now. But McKenzie still went above and beyond in the subject of STEM.
I was selected by Northrop Grumman to be the first teacher fellow or teacher intern that in the state of Alabama. I teach in Madison County, and we have so many brilliant engineers and scientists that work here in Huntsville, and I teach in the shadows of Warner von Braun and those brilliant NASA engineers, and so
Mackenzie says it's up to her and her fellow educators to pass on the torch.
I think that it's I think that it's expected, you know, that we pick up all of that that STEM content and pass that on to our students.
One teacher takes her students around the globe from the comfort of her classroom, immersing them in culture and language. Her subject, French. Meet this week's Valley's top teacher from Sparkman High School, Jennifer Hamlet. For French teacher Jennifer Hamlet,
some people would name their child Katrina or put it at.
The subject is more than a language. It's a cultural experience.
I started teaching in the fall of 1999, so it's been quite a while. I hope that I look younger than that, actually. Those numbers add up to be.
This is Hamlet's third year at Sparkman High School, and between the years, she's taught both at private and public schools.
My original goal was to teach elementary school students French, and I ended up with the oldest kids, and it's worked out great.
She's even taught in Germany.
I grew up in North Alabama. Not a lot of diversity in the area where I lived, not a lot of other languages spoken, so that wasn't something I experienced day to day. When I got the opportunity to learn language, I also got the opportunity to travel. And I feel like that experience and has continued to just really shape who I am, how I see the world, how I see other people, how I interact with others. I think that it's been very beneficial. It's made a difference in my life for sure.
Hamlet hopes learning French will make a difference in her students' life too.
I think that's some of the most valuable things that they can learn, is to expand their worldview, appreciate differences, understand how other people do things differently, and that's okay.
And she hopes her students share global connection, one French word at a time.
Getting to play maybe a small role in planting seeds toward a better understanding, more cooperation between people, better communication between people, a love of things, and a desire to learn more about the world. That's a win. You know, that's the best thing I could be doing.